In this video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to make party ribs on a pellet smoker. Man, this is such a simple recipe, and these ribs were so packed with flavor. That honey glaze on there was just a 10 out of 10. So if you like good barbecue, make sure you like and subscribe. Join my community of home cooks. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Let's go through this simple recipe that you can follow at home as well. What's up? It's your boy Saucy Rossi, the Canadian king of backyard barbecue. And the second I tried this recipe out, I knew I had to share it with you guys. I've always been skeptical of party ribs, but I finally gave in and tried them out. And I'm stoked that I did because I was being stupid not trying party ribs. They totally have an advantage. I mean, when you take a rack of ribs just like this and separate them, you should probably be smarter than me and use a better knife, like a chef's knife, not a paring knife. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, you're going to individually cut up these ribs, but then we get to season all sides. Keep that in mind. That's why I went with Heath Riles garlic butter dry rub along with his cherry dry rub. One is sweet and one is savory. And I think together they're going to have a fantastic flavor profile combination. So there they are. One's the garlic butter dry rub and one's the cherry dry rub. And I went ahead and hit the bottom of them, then flipped all them over and then did the exact same thing on the top. Some of that garlic butter, some of that cherry dry rub seasoning. At this point, I had a bunch of extra, dry rub on my little board. So I just kind of jangled things around and made sure they got fully coated just like that. Doesn't that look fantastic? It's going to be perfect, bud. Let's fire up the pellet smoker and get these out on there at 275. Today, we're running a blend of maple, oak, and hickory. Now, when I said 275 there, my specific smoker only does 250 or 300. So for this, I actually did 300 because ribs, where they have the bone in there, can take a little more heat. You're allowed to not be afraid with them. They can take that brunt force and get that smoky flavor in no time at all. So there you go. Laid them out, separated them so that smoke's going to go all around, really letting them cook. And I'm probably not even going to spritz them until an hour and a half in. Now for a spritzing, you can use apple cider vinegar like me, or some orange juice. You can use beer as well, or if you just want to hit them with some water, that's perfectly fine. I always recommend if you are hitting them with water, just be cautious because sometimes it can wash away dry rub. So you want to make sure you got a good little cook on there first to let it adhere a little bit, okay? So just be cautious about that. Now, again, we're going low and slow here. I got this set at 300. If you have a 275 setting, that's perfectly fine. What you really want to watch for here is just when you're just getting that perfect bark. We're going to go ahead and flip over the ribs at that point. At that point, I want to make sure both sides get completely cooked. I want to flip them upside down. Any fat that's remaining can render and drip off. Oh, bud, but it's going to be absolutely scrumptious. Okay, so check it. As I'm just cooking this, we're going to rotate a couple of them. If you notice any of them are getting a little bit of char on one side and maybe not the other, give it a quick flip. Don't hesitate. Moving them around is real important. Okay, that's the one thing about party ribs, where it's not a huge rack. They do take heat on a bit more intensely. They can get a little more charred. Char is fantastic, but trust me, too much char is not what people want. So as we come close to about 2.5 hours, that's when I flip them upside down like this. You can see those bones exposed. That bone pull is starting in there. They're looking friggin' banging, bud. I'm actually super stoked on this. I really like this method because it's probably about half the time, but you get basically the same results. Already separated, man, oh man, if you wanted to throw a sauce on these, they're ready to just toss into a bowl and give them just a quick, wang jangle, as I like to say. But today I'm going in with some brown sugar, some knobs of butter. I don't really have a measurement for the butter. Do that to your heart's desire. Just don't go too crazy. You know how butter is. But what's important is a good honey. Now, normally I'd use hot honey by the Halifax Honey Company, but I wanted something nice and sweet today. So I went with their just regular wildflower honey, and it was absolutely delectable. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're going to let that smoke for probably about, another 30 minutes. Then when we're done that 30-minute timer, we're going to pull off that tinfoil and give them maybe 5 to 10 more minutes just to tack up with that honey and that sauce that we threw in there, that butter, all that stuff. We want to hit that with a little bit of smoke. Nothing too crazy. That's why we went with that blend of pellets that I mentioned earlier. Oh, buddy, as these just smoke down, I keep getting more and more excited. Basically, they're ready to get taken off right here. I did flip them around, move it so the sauce would kind of get on all sides. That's super important. You don't want to let these things sit still, because as they move around, we're going to coat them more and more in that sauce, and it's just going to be so delectable. So like I mentioned, let's go ahead, pull these off and check them out, because they're going to be friggin' banging, bud. Let's go. All right, so after 3.5 hours, we're pulling them off the pellet grill. We're bringing them up to the kitchen, giving them a serious inspection. Oh, buddy, doesn't that look unbelievable? If you're wondering, they didn't fall off the bone, but the second you bite into them, they just release from the bone. It's exactly what you're looking for in barbecue. A lot of people overcook their ribs. I'm not into that. I like there to be a little bit of tug when you have to bite it off the rib. That's important to me. But bud, when you bring it up to like 193, 195 internal, oh man, that's seriously delectable barbecue. Oh, anyway, thanks for taking the time for watching here. I hope you learned something from this video. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to try this. And if you do, make sure you tag me on Instagram and TikTok. But until then, stay safe, take care, and have a great day.